Hi there, I'm John of John's Carnivorous Plants, and this is my indoor nursery. Today, we're going to talk about what are the most common pests for carnivorous plants. This is a common question, and ultimately, it boils down to it depends where you're at. But as a general rule of thumb, they become like you'll find pests most actively in the spring, summer, and early fall. Now, in southern portions or tropical area, well, some portions of the U.S. or tropical areas in the world in general, you'll find that pests can continue year round. So that is also something to note. Now, onto the common pest. Aphids are usually the prime pest you'll see and can be seen pretty much across the entirety of the U.S., even some of the territories. And you'll notice them mostly because of small little circular marks on your plants and then shriveled, deformed leaves as they suck out the juices. They're fairly common, very small but still visible, so you'll be able to see them. Uh, but they'll generally hide in towards the center of your plant where it's hard to see them, and they'll attack pretty much just about everything. Then next up is spider mites. These guys are common pretty much with all of the carnivorous plants except for sundews and Venus flytraps. So Drosera and Venus flytraps. Occasionally, a weak Drosera will succumb to a spider mite infestation, but in my experience, it's incredibly rare, even whenever there's other spider mites present. And they produce a fine web, which usually is the first indication that you have an infestation. Sometimes you'll see the mites beforehand, but they're very tiny, tiny little mites, and usually like to live on the undersides of the leaves, so it's very hard for you to usually see them. Because of that, I will say that usually you'll find out you have spider mites whenever the infestation's getting pretty gnarly. Lastly, we got scale, which is another common pest which will hit like Cephalotus, Helianthera, Sarracenia, sometimes even sundews and flytraps. And they look like a small little armored insect that just suck up the juices of your plant and then they slowly move their way over to another spot. These guys will viciously attack pitcher plants and will suck them dry pretty quickly. So I recommend dealing with the infestation pretty quickly. Now, this list hasn't been all inclusive. There are all kinds of other pests out there that will attack carnivorous plants, sometimes even squirrels, raccoons, if you're growing outside, maybe even your own cats or dogs. All depends on what's going on in your area. But the thing is that if you're running into an insect pest or like a disease or fungus that's killing your plants, I would highly suggest getting in contact with your local Department of Agriculture if you're here in the US. They have a pathology program across the entirety of the US, and it may cost you a small fee of like 20-30 bucks, and they have you send in whatever plant material you have. But they'll give you a test and tell you exactly what you have and how to treat it moving forward, which is infinitely better than me as some random guy on the internet trying to give you exact direct advice on how to treat every single thing in the US. It's just not physically possible. So please talk to the experts in your area that are literally in contact with all kinds of the research stations around the US. They're trying to figure out things for public use that you can use to safely combat these pests in your home or your own garden. Now, that's pretty much all I got for you today. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. If you want to talk plants, join the Carnivorous Plant Discord. It's in the description. If you want to buy plants to support me, please go to my website, also in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Happy growing, and goodbye.